It is time for Mic'd Up. This is the time in the show we dedicate to hearing from unique and cool people doing some pretty unique and cool things. Conversations, not sound bites, is part of our commitment on this show to share the stage with other voices. Today, we hear from a marijuana connoisseur and blogger to navigate the complex world of cannabis and its strains. And by the way, that's just our Adam Longo.
He is the general of ganja, the colonel of cannabis, a major of marijuana. Joe Tierney is here with us, the Gentleman Toker. Joe, you're basically the sommelier of Sheba. You smoke weed, you rate it, and you write about it. How did you toke yourself into this gig?
I really wanted to be a part of Initiative 71. And frankly, starting a blog was the cheapest way to get into the marijuana industry.
Whoa.
That's what you're looking for.
We're talking about rating marijuana in all of its different varieties. There's a lot of similarities with wine.
Absolutely, there is, and there's some significant differences, and I think part of the culture there is I've always tried to write about it in a fun way and with lots of jokes to be entertaining.
Much more snooty, aren't they?
That's what I kind of wanted to avoid. This is my whole goal with starting the site, is to educate people about what quality cannabis is.
We've got Platinum Bubba Kush, we've got King OG Kush, we've got Big Apple, Gobstopper. How am I supposed to know what the difference is? I mean, can you explain to me what the difference is between some of these?
It's actually not as much as you'd think.
When you take a whiff of this, Joe, what are you smelling, and what can you tell me about that?
Well, that one's got some sweetness to it. It's overall earthy, but you can pick up some sweet tones. Basically, if it smells good to you, if it smells like appetizing to you, that's great stuff right there.
Well, this smells very appetizing. So, Joe, it was nice to meet you.
Good weed smells good. It tastes good. If you don't like it, that's probably not been grown the best. The best thing that I can do here is just teach people, like, this is what makes quality cannabis. These are things that you should avoid.
Can you talk to us about some of the popular articles that you have up on your blog?
Yeah, so recently I did my 5 great places to smoke in DC, right? And that's complicated by the fact that a lot of DC is actual federal land. And the places that are really scenic kind of fall along those lines.
Don't show up on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial thinking that you're going to smoke a blunt.
Certainly not during the daytime. You might get away with it at midnight.
This is your full-time job.
Yes, it is.
Ganja spokesperson and weed critic is your full-time job.
That's right. Yes.
Did you ever have imagined this life for yourself?
It's been a wild ride. I can tell you that. It has been, I did not want a boring job, and I did not get one.
Joe Tierney, a smoke scientist, the Gentleman Toker. We appreciate you talking with us about this, and best of luck moving forward.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Proof positive that dreams really do come true.
For him and me.
I can't imagine. Happy, sleepy, relieved, what more could you want?
Yeah, it was a great time. And one of the things that he pointed out about rating marijuana, it's not all about what's good, it's about what to avoid, what smells bad. And if something smells bad to you, he specifically said these things. If it smells like sweat, body odor, or ammonia, don't just think, oh, maybe that's just this strain. No, it's bad. It was grown horribly wrong. Something went off the rails. Just leave that one alone.
I'll tell you what smells bad. Everything that was out before like 2005.
Yeah,
because when I was in my backsliding days, it felt like we were smoking Sasser Field or FedEx Field out here. It smelled like somebody went to Camden Yards and just took a handful, put it in a bag, and made me pay $20 for it.
I'm going to have to take your word on that one.
Yeah.
So he got into this because he said he wanted to be part of the marijuana industry after Initiative 71 got passed in 2014. He said he couldn't go out to California and work an apprenticeship at like a growing place because he just couldn't afford to live. And they wouldn't hire him at a dispensary in D.C. because he didn't have the experience. So he just kind of got hosed on that. Shout out, by the way, to Legacy DC for letting us hang out there at 14th and U to shoot this story. the article he wrote about the best places in D.C. to visit while high. His article is hilarious because it takes great pains to explain how you can get in real trouble if you smoke on federal property, and then 4 out of the top 5 places are federal property. Roosevelt Island, the overlooks on the GW Parkway, the National Arboretum, the C&O Canal.
I'm going to go with your kitchen, your living room, your bathroom, and your bedroom. There's
Probably
my top
gonna be
5.
the safest places
Bathroom
to go.
listed
Yeah.
twice. Now, whenever there's anybody like a sommelier, right, who's smelling wine, I always have to take your word for it. I'm not that sophisticated.
Exactly.
Could you actually sense what he was picking up?
I could not distinguish the scent, but you could see the differences in the color of the bud. So that's what stood out. Listen, I got this story through a tip, and I'm getting your stories through tips as well, so send them to me. Listen, alongo@wsa9.com. Hit me up on any of the social media platforms. We'd love to tell your story, something you typically wouldn't see on TV. Just like that story, that's the kind of story we're going to do.
I saw the difference in the color because it was not brown.